Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In 2015, just before the federal elections, I approached many candidates, politicians, even party leaders, such as Tom Mulcair, the previous leader of the NDP, to discuss a very important issue that affected the Muslim community. And that issue was the biased media that was fueling the hate against Islam and Muslims. Back then, there was a family play called Robin Hood, and in that play that I attended myself, and I listened to these words myself, it said that it was in the context of the play that the Muslim army is coming to kill us, burn our village, and kill our children and our women. It was very disgusting in a multicultural society where all citizens are respected, to see such fueling of hate in the name of art and on the platforms of media. And unfortunately, since then, we haven't seen much improvement. In 2021, just last year, when the attack on the Palestinians in Jerusalem took place in May of last year, we've also complained to many officials about the biased stance of the Canadian media outlets when they always portray Muslims as villains, as terrorists, as a point of threat to not just Canada but the whole world. We've raised our voices and we said such coverage is very negative. Such coverage will actually produce Islamophobia and terrorist attacks against Muslims like the ones we've seen in London, in Toronto, in Hamilton. You count it, you name it. In the past 6 years, which is under the governance of the Liberal Party, we've seen a lot of attacks on Muslims, and it's very unfortunate. And I say again, media is playing a negative role in this equation. Media is fueling hate. We see it, and we see the repercussions of such acts. And unfortunately, on October 4th, just a couple of days ago, I got this complaint, this very sad incident that took place in a middle school in Mississauga, and I believe it was Mills School in Mississauga, an incident that took place in math class between the teacher, who's a female teacher, and the students, where the teacher, instead of focusing on math and talking about math, she's talking about the Women's Rights Day, and then she was talking about what happened in Iran, the incident where Massa was killed by the forces or the police, some security forces in Iran. And then the discussion was all about this incident. The teacher said that, yes, the people burned the hijab. Muslim students were offended by it, and they have all the right to be offended by it. And they said no one has the right to burn the symbol of Islam, the symbol of Muslims. However, the teacher was very aggressive. She threatened to take the students to the principal's office, and she went on after that talking about the Quran and how it's a man-written book and how we shouldn't be listening to Al-Quran Al-Kareem. Very upsetting, very unprofessional, very sad, because that left our students, our kids in schools feeling really bad. That student that went back and told his mother was traumatized by this conversation. He's in a math class, supposed to be studying math, and here he sees a teacher attacking his religion. Where did that come from? Unfortunately, just a couple of days before that, or during the same time, if you listen to the Canadian media, it was talking not just about the poor girl that was abused by an oppressive regime. They're actually talking about hijab and burning hijab. The way they covered the story was wrong. If you have an oppressive regime, say it's an oppressive regime. Talk about Iran as an oppressive regime. This is a governmental issue. But when you focus on hijab being burned and the need to burn hijab, then you're saying that hijab is a sign of oppression. Completely different story now. And when you promote that hijab is a sign of oppression, this is what we get. We get teachers in schools that have nothing to do with the issue. They're supposed to be teaching completely different subjects, talking about hijab being oppressive, and even going further by talking about the Quran being man-written and talking about our advising students, and many of them are Muslims because the area is full of Muslims residents, advising students not to follow the Quran. Wallahi, it's heartbreaking. Our kids are seeing a lot in school. Their religion is being attacked. A lot of foreign ideas against their religion are being forced upon them, and nobody's doing anything. We've spoken several times to candidates, to politicians, some of them that are ministers right now, but unfortunately they haven't done anything when it comes to Islam and Muslims. But for other issues, you will see them raising their voices and you will see them acting upon it. But when it comes to this issue, nobody's doing anything. I have 3 messages to end this with. First message is to the Muslim community. You need to raise your voice. I know that the NCCM, the National Council of Canadian Muslims, and the Canadian Council of Imams are working on something right now, and I'm sure they will issue a statement, and I'm sure that the NCCM will take the proper steps to deal with such teacher and to communicate with the school board and do whatever it takes to stop this from happening again. But I have a message to the parents. Please pay attention to your children. Pay attention to their emotions. When they come back, talk to them. Ask them. Ask them if anybody heard them, heard their religion, heard their identity, heard their peace and comfort in school. Talk to them, listen to them, and take actions if you hear anything or detect anything. And my last message is for my sons and daughters in public school and in any school or in any institution or any establishment. We're so proud of you that you are actually enduring such pressure. Wallahi, we are so proud of you. We wish we can do more, and we promise you we will try our best to do more to protect you. But we want you to always be strong, stand and hold your grounds, complain, and if you have something good to say it. Push back, say it. Argue reasonably, with wisdom and reason, and do not stay silent. And if you feel that you cannot engage in a discussion, go to the principal's office, complain, and make sure you complain to your parents. Protect your religion, protect your identity, and the whole community is with you. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless you and protect your deen and protect your identity. It is unfortunate that we're going through such rough times where we're being continuously, our religion is being attacked, and hate against Muslims is being fueled inside schools more than it is outside schools. But inshallah, Allah will find a way out of this calamity. Allah will bless you and will help you and protect you. Stay strong, stay safe. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.